So fuck shit up. Graduated with huge like honors and master's degrees. Like I didn't walk across that stage because I had like such huge sis. It's just that they lack trust and self-trust in themselves. And the more you do something, that is what builds confidence. So it's actually like the reassurance and the self-assurance. Erika's happy. And what's Erika's confidence? And what does Erika need for her life?
This is episode 4 and I'm with Erika, and we have crossed the pond and we are in Canada right now with Erika, who is an amazing confidence coach. With skin,
Yeah.
I know that you've suffered with skin yourself because we've chatted about it before. How would you say to be confident when you do feel like, oh my God, I can't go out because my face looks like this? Because I know personally, I have been like that.
Yeah. So what I always tell my clients and the people that I work with is I ask them to ask themselves why they put so much value in their appearance rather than who they are as a person. And that's what it really honestly comes down to when we talk about confidence and talk about like going out and being social, because I've been there. Like I didn't go to my graduation for university, even though I like graduated with huge like honors and master's degrees. Like I didn't walk across that stage because I had like such huge sis and I was so embarrassed. And the more I like went through my journey and like started working on my confidence, the more I realized that it had nothing else to do other than the fact that I was valuing what I physically looked like more than who I am as a person and what I offer to this world. And what I offer to this world is fucking incredible. And I know that. And it took me some time, but every single time I would like sit there and be like, okay, I'm canceling plans or I'm not going to go live on Instagram or whatever. I would always ask myself, Erika, why the fuck are you caring so goddamn much about what you look like when you know that you have so much more to offer? And it was almost like I thought of it as a bank account. So I had 2 bank accounts in front of me. Am I going to put money towards a savings account that's going to better my future? Or am I going to put money towards an account that literally seeps money and pays the bills and is nothing fun, right? So for me, my thoughts were like money, and I just kept putting my money towards the bank account that made me feel happy rather than the one that was like not serving me at all.
Yeah. So would you say, like, when you look at yourself in a mirror, what tips could you give to someone to be like, I am beautiful, rather than, oh my God, I can't go out like this?
Right. So the best thing to do when you are in a mirror and when you're going through this transition is to not use mirrors solely to look at your appearance. So I buy mirrors and I will show you my office. I have mirrors coming out of my yin yang, okay? And it's for a reason, and it's because I started putting mirrors up everywhere and I started doing other things other than looking at myself in the mirror. So for my journey a couple years ago, when my whole confidence thing started, I went out when I was in Australia and I bought a mirror and I would dance naked in front of it every morning to my Latin music. And then I'd like have my bikini on and then I filmed it and like put it out to the world. And that's like honestly what I became known for, was like, oh, Erika, like the girl that's always dancing to Latin music in her mirror. But
And
the
you still do that today, don't you? And I absolutely love it because your energy is literally so like, oh, you just like pass on your energy, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like I tell everyone, like buy a fucking mirror and put it in front of you and sew or study or play a sport or dance or do something. Like we only look in the mirror when we go for validation for how we feel, right? We never actually just look in the mirror to do anything else. So it's changing that that action between mirrors are for reflection and then mirrors are for like reflecting everything else about me rather than just like my physical self.
Yeah.
And that is like honestly the number one thing that I started doing when I tried to start accepting myself was I started, like I said, for me it was dancing because I love to dance. So I watched my body move, and my whole acceptance started with my body because I didn't have acne at the time. So that happened, but it helped with my acne as well because I saw myself in a different light rather than it just being like you go to the mirror to again validate yourself or to like pick yourself apart. But instead now like I have mirrors everywhere and I sew in front of them or I do my work. Like I'm constantly watching myself, because it reminds me that like I can still do the things, and it allows you to see yourself in a different light rather than just who
I
you
think that's such a good tip. Like, honestly,
are.
I might steal that from you.
Please do. Honestly, I tell all my clients, like, before we start, you need to go and buy a face mirror, you need to buy a full body mirror, and you need to buy like a pocket mirror. Like I tell them, and
I
the
know so many of my clients that literally can't look in a mirror.
yeah,
It's just shocking, really. And
and
like, to think that you are so much more, and like, I think it's just normalizing it, isn't it?
I was literally just gonna say the thing. So like people think confidence is like people actually don't know what confidence is or like how to get it, right? So people are like, oh, I lack confidence, but they actually don't know what they're saying. And the thing is that like it's not even that people lack confidence, it's just that they lack trust and self-trust in themselves. And the more you do something, that is what builds confidence. So it's actually like the reassurance and the self-assurance that you can do it. So I always use an example, like if you were to go out right now and go unicycling, like 99% of us would fall on our face, probably break our arms. It
Yeah.
would be like not a fun experience. But what you decide to do from there, like, are you going to like throw the unicycle away and call it quits and be like, fuck that? Or are you going to go out with pads next time on your arms and legs and a helmet and maybe a friend to hold your hand?
Stabilizers.
Yeah, and like the more you start doing things, right? Like the more you start doing things, the more confident you become, because you're like, I can do this, or I've done this before, or I felt like a glimpse that like, oh, I was balancing, like I balanced on myself for 2 seconds, right? Like that's hope. And when we hold on to those and we practice them, it grows, and that's how we gain confidence. And it's the same with mirrors. The more you look at yourself, the more it becomes normal. The
Yeah.
more you look at social media accounts that share their acne, the more you go out without your makeup on, you'll start to notice the people around you not wearing makeup as well. And it will just become part of your everyday thing. But when you hide it and you try to push it aside, it becomes this daunting thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with you there.
Yeah.
What does confidence mean to you?
I love this question because I keep on saying like the first week of my program is always redefining what confidence looks like, because I have people come to me and they say, but like, I just want to be like you. And like, I'm not like you, and I'm not going to be able to sell my program, or I'm not going to be able to like, whatever it's going to be. And that is like the most not like limiting belief that you can ever have, because my confidence is never going to look like anyone else's, right? Like I am me. And as much as people sometimes try to be like me, it's never actually going to exude the same way, because no one else is you. And just like there's no other version of you, right? So for me, confidence looks like not giving a fuck what anyone says. But it also looks like giving a fuck what people say, and caring and being that person and speaking my truth and doing what's right for me. So, for instance, like in the coaching industry, you're not supposed to like there's like this rule that you're not supposed to give people options on how to pay. You're just supposed to say like either in full or every month, and that's the price, deal with it. But for me, like I know that there are people that want help, that like sometimes paying $700 or whatever it is a month isn't realistic. So for me, I give people 5 different payment options. And is it realistic for other people? No, but my confidence is like me doing what's working best for me and my people, and listening to what others say and taking that and growing with it. So my confidence is like waking up, and if I feel like going for a walk, I'll go for a walk. If it feels like getting in a swim, I'll go for a swim. And
Yeah.
just really listening to what's
And listening to your own body, just owning it, listening to it, and doing it.
exactly. And this week I even had like a situation where so last week I did a program, and it was about like sexuality, and we were talking like everything sex, like nothing was off the table. And afterwards I said, like, just so everyone knows, like I'm actually going into sex coaching next. Like I'm going to
Wow.
yeah, so I'm doing sex and business, so they don't really go together, but they also go so closely together. It's going to be phenomenal. So stay tuned for that, because the
Yes, I'm so
rebrand
excited. Yeah.
yes. But anyway, so I said like I'm gonna like I said, like just so everyone knows, like come the new year, like I'm not gonna be doing chronic confidence anymore in my program. Like it's gonna be something different. And I had people like literally message me and say, like, if you stop doing what you do, like I won't live. Like I won't be able to be okay. And at first I started taking that and I was like, they're right. I have to serve them. This is what people know me as. I was like the body confidence person, and now I'm going to be this business bitch. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I had to stop myself and say, but what's Erika's happy, and what's Erika's confidence, and what does Erika need for her life? And it's teaching about sex, and it's teaching about business, and it's hard in those moments to like stop yourself, but it's allowing yourself to say, that's their thoughts, that's not mine.
Yeah,
And like differentiating.
you have to follow your passion as well. So as much as like, say your mum and dad want you to go to a certain route or go to uni and blah blah blah, that's not your passion. So as much as they can force you to do that, you're not going to be happy. So at the end of the day, it's not going to go well.
Exactly. And any successful person, if you look at like successful people versus like people that are like declared unsuccessful, whether it's bankruptcy or like their business didn't go up, the successful people are always fucking happy because they're doing what is best for them. And it could be hairdressing, it could be a CEO, it could be financing, it could be literally anything. But if you're doing what your passion is, you will always succeed and you will always be happy. Always, always, always. There's no proof that says otherwise.
You're living your purpose, aren't you? 100%. Can
Yes.
you tell us more about your chronic confidence
Program? Yes, absolutely. So I am a confidence coach. I'm an online confidence coach, which is awesome because I can reach people across the pond. Yeah, exactly. So the program is called Chronic Confidence, and that's the name comes from one, having chronic disease. So I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I've lived through 20 years of that, of like being a little bit different and having to care for myself with a chronic disease. And then also too, chronic means like lifelong or like never ending. And my program offers lifelong and never ending confidence for people after the program as well. So it's not just within it, they leave feeling really awesome. So it's a 12-week program, and there's one-on-one calls, there's 12 group calls, there are guest speakers every week, there's a community, so it's an open and close registration, and there's a community of all the clients in together, so they're all going through it at the same time. They can reach out to people and be like, oh my god, I freaking relate, like add me on Instagram, girl, like we're gonna become best friends. And it's just like become this awesome program that touches on so many different things. So a lot of the times people have like confidence issues with maybe their relationship, and that's where it's like showing, and that's what's telling them that. But a lot of the times their confidence also needs help in business or setting boundaries. And there's so many different things that play into what confidence is. So between the 12 weeks, there's boundary setting, there's mindset help. We talk about diet culture and why we feel like we need to be a certain size. We talk about relationships and sex and bedroom confidence and confidence in a business and confidence online and not comparing yourself. And it's amazing. It's like literally the best program ever. And I'm not even going to deny it because one, my clients tell me this, but two, I really honestly put out to my followers and said, like, what do you struggle with? Like, what is going on? Because I'm not gonna lie, like I've been in the state of like so much confidence for so long now, like a couple of years, that it's honestly sometimes hard to remember what it feels like to like compare yourself or to, I was telling my client the other day, like I remember the days where I used to literally shit 3 times before I jumped on the scale in the morning and like would try to push out every little piece of poo in my body. I would take my earrings out. I would like wipe my face because I thought my makeup was going to make me gain weight. No, literally like commando, like brush my teeth. I cut my hair at one point because I thought it was going to make me like lose 2 pounds, right? Like these are the things. So that's what I remember, but I don't remember like all the parts. So I just said to my peeps, I'm like, if I created a program, like, what do you want to learn about? And those were like the 12 most prominent things. And it's just gone like so nicely because everything is so closely related. And sometimes people don't notice that until they're in the program and they're like, oh, so my friends that are treating me like shit, it's not because I'm a crappy person, it's because I don't have boundaries with them. And I've never told them, no, they can't comment on my weight, or no, they can't tell me that my boyfriend's stupid, those type of things.
Yeah, I actually messed up the time, blonde, today. So I booked in for English time, 1 p.m. And where Erika is, what time is it? Like 7:30?
It was like literally 7:15, and I was like walking out the door to go to the gym.
Obviously I didn't check, so it's definitely my fault. But like, I loved that Erica was like, no, I have these boundaries. I cannot work right now. I'm about to go to the gym. I loved that. And like the confidence in someone when they say like, no, like, you know, this, I'm not working at 7:30. That is ridiculous. I would never expect you to work that at that time as well, by the way. But like having that confidence, it makes you seem more like professional, and
Yeah.
people respect that as well. So I think that is such a big part of having confidence issues and stuff like that. Like,
And that's the thing, like, that I tell everyone is that if you don't fucking trust and respect your own goddamn boundaries, how is anyone going to do that for you?
100%.
Right? Like, you don't respect yourself, but you want all those other random ass people in your fucking life to respect you. It's not going to happen. Right? And it's hard. Like, setting boundaries is hard. And I even had to set boundaries with, like, for instance, with my parents, and I love them to death, but my parents were always like, Erica, what's going on with your skin? Like, I remember back in April, um, I was like breaking out, and it was only like on my face, because my whole body, like, I would not get one single dot, nothing. And my dad, like, he loves me so much, but he was like, okay, like, honestly, what's going on? Like, something's going on, blah, blah, blah. And but I said to him, I said, Dad, like, I know you want to help. And like, he was literally willing to pay like a coach. Like, he just wanted to, he realized that like something was happening. But I said, like, I hired someone and I'm trusting her right now. And yes, it's going to take a couple months, but like, and I know you're like just trying so hard to figure it out because I've never had this. And I was like, but I need you to like not comment on my skin, please, because I'm working really hard and I actually see different benefits right now. Like, changing up my routine and stuff has helped other parts of my life, and that will eventually pay off to my skin.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because like, it's hard setting boundaries with family, and it's hard setting boundaries with the people that you love. And my dad was like, absolutely. Like, he's like, I didn't even think about it. And I said to him, it's not a boundary for you. I'm not saying no to you. Like, you're hurting my feelings. It's just me saying like yes to me. Like, a boundary is for you. It's not for anyone else. So like today, for instance, like when I said no to you, like I was like, no, I will not Zoom with you at 7 a.m. It was like me saying yes to me, because I was like, fuck, no, I'm going to go to the gym. Like, I need this.
Yourself.
Yeah. And I know that and this is the thing too, like the fact that you respected my boundaries shows that like you respect me. And people that don't respect your boundaries when you go to set them are the people that are violating your boundaries and benefiting from them the most.
Get them out. Get them out.
Get them the fuck out. Yeah.
Then,
Right. So if you would have said like, well, that doesn't work for me, then I would have been like, well, I'm sorry, like this call's not going to work. Right. Because like that respect isn't there. But that's what happens when you set boundaries, and people get upset and they get worried that they're going to lose their friends and stuff. But again,
like
those who
I respected you more for saying that, because like if you would have like gone on the call and then been like, yeah, I was meant to go to gym, it's like 7:30, I would have felt so bad. Like, I literally would never have forgiven myself for like not thinking.
Right. And this is the thing that I learned through my skin journey as well, is that it's okay to do stuff for yourself and want more. And part of my skin journey was that like, as I became, so like my skin journey started about 5 years ago. I had my first like bad breakout, and it was more so in my head and like really cystic. And I tried my best. I went vegan because like that's what people told me to do. And then I went on Accutane, and it cleared it up like that. And then I went to Australia for a year, and like I was so chill, and I was in the beach and in the ocean all day. So my skin was awesome. And I had this like really high intensity thing of like confidence, because like my skin was better. So I was like accepted. And
Right, yeah.
yeah. And then I came back to Canada, and because of the climate change, and I started a really stressful job, like I started getting the chin acne and like the whitehead. So this time it was different, but it was like, it was still there. And I kind of like, I had to like relearn what confidence was, because so much of it was related to my skin clearing up. But with like my skin journey too, and with my confidence, because I became this person that was so confident online, I didn't allow myself to heal my skin because I thought that if I healed my skin, I wouldn't be relatable, or that like it would show that like I actually think that like clear skin is better. And I had to really get over myself and really get over that fact, because you are allowed to heal yourself. Like, I always thought of it as like an appearance thing, but what helped was I was like, because like this is the thing too, right? Like we ask people to be confident and love themselves for who they are, but then like we have confidence programs and we have like skin programs, and the whole thing about it is that like you can be comfortable with who you are, but it's also okay to heal, and you don't have to feel bad about healing. And that was like the number one thing that I had to get over in my own, like my own journey this past fall or this past spring, was like, I'm allowed to be a confidence coach and have clear skin. And like my clear skin isn't me and my appearance. My clear skin is a clear indication of like what's going on the insides and around my life as well.
And
Yeah.
as well, I was gonna say, even if you do have a breakout or you don't feel confident one day, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to feel confident
All the time.
of the time, because I think that's just unrealistic, to be honest. But you know, everyone has a bad day, and it's
Yep.
okay, and you just kind of sweep it
Move
along.
through it.
Don't get stuck in the hole. But
Yeah.
it's fine to have a bad day, isn't it?
Yeah. And I always say like to my clients, like I said, like, okay, at the beginning of the program, like you might have like 5 days in a row where you're like, ugh, and then you'll like get a glimpse of it and then you'll go back. And I said, and you'll start to think like, I actually can't do this because I had a glimpse and it didn't stay.
Yeah.
But as you like grow and as you like become more confident, like those days, they're not astronomical the way that they used to, or those days become like a moment. So for instance, this morning I woke up and like for the first time in a couple months, I had like actual whiteheads. And I was like, oh my God. I just like hadn't had them for like a while. But I know, I was like, oh my gosh. But like a couple months ago, like that actually would have like really upset me, because I would have been like, oh my gosh. But now, because I know, like I literally sat there and said, okay, well, Wednesday night you got 2 hours of sleep. Yesterday you sat on calls for 12 hours and you didn't get up and you didn't eat your breakfast. Like, so it's like moments like that, you're able, like as your confidence grows, you're able to start going like, okay, this is just like 2 pimples, or like this is just a moment, and it doesn't become so astronomical. And those little glimpses of confidence, hold on to those. Like I like hold on to them, because that is your social proof that you are capable of loving yourself. And like again, people get so like worked up, like, well, it lasted 5 minutes and then it was gone. I'm like, that's 5 more minutes than when you were starting.
Yeah.
Right? Like hold on to them, because any positive hope, I always say this, like any positive hope, any glimpse of like happiness or like excitement shows that it is possible. And when you have one, you can have thousands, but you just have to like have hope and keep working on it.
Suffering with their skin right now, what would one thing that you could say to help them be? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like if I do that so many times, I'm like, wait, reverse, like let me try that again. Yeah. So if someone, if you are listening to this and you are suffering with your skin, first of all, you are not suffering. It is your body's way of trying to tell you that it needs help and love, and you need to just listen to what feels right and do the things that make you feel good, whether it's stop going to the gym and stop overexerting yourself, or whether that's starting to go to the gym and starting to exert yourself. Whatever is coming to your heart, listen to it, because yes, our skin is an appearance thing, but it's more so a signal and an identification that something in your life is out of balance and it wants your attention, and you are like neglecting those thoughts and neglecting those things, and it's the only way that your body knows how to tell you that it wants help.
100%. I could not agree with that anymore. Where can people find you if they want any more information or follow your amazing dance moves?
For my high energy stories?
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
So I am solely based out of Instagram. So my Instagram handle is at Erika, Erika, Arff, Arff, all as one. My picture is like a really cute pink photo, so it's not too hard to to miss. And if you're following along on this platform, it will probably come up in your search feed. So,
well, thank you so much for
thank you.
sharing your confidence amazingness with my audience.
Oh, any day.
We will hopefully hook up again soon. I'm going to
Yes.